With Insta360 just releasing the OneX2, I couldn't be happier to still be learning and testing my brand new OneX2. Although I love the newest model, I'm sure the price will be dropping on this camera, making it an even better deal. So until then, let's dive into the OneX2 and help you decide which model's right for you. This is the OneX2 from Insta360. It comes with a camera capable of recording 360 degrees at 5.7K. It comes with a nicely padded travel case that fits your camera snugly, keeping it safe. It comes with a USB-C charging cable. It comes with camera information and some stickers. Setup is simple. You download the app to your phone, register your camera, and follow the on-screen steps. Then your camera and phone sync, updating your camera to the latest firmware. Now, I didn't purchase the invisible selfie stick or shock mount. Instead, I used my own personal tripod to see if it was good enough. And although it's not bad, it's a cheap tripod that causes some shakes and jitters, so keep that in mind when watching our test footage. But after using my own tripod for a bit, I definitely plan to purchase some Insta360 accessories in the future. I can see how they'd be useful. Now, I've been using this as a secondary camera for the past few weeks. My other camera records 1080p, so to match cameras, I record at a faster frame rate and lower resolution. This creates some really cool slow-mo shots. And when I record higher resolution, it gives me so much room to frame, reposition, and zoom in without quality loss. I've used this all around the farm in different situations, and I've been having so much fun getting unique shots that I couldn't have otherwise. It records everything, and it's so low profile that you could film in tight areas. But my favorite feature has to be the time lapses. You set down the camera and let it do its thing. Then in the editor, you can choose where it records. You can even keyframe different points to have moving time lapses. When I was younger, I would mount a GoPro to an egg timer to get this effect, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever. Now this camera has it built in. The only difference is you can actually pick the direction it's pointing, and the camera doesn't ring when it finishes an hour time lapse. The moving time lapses are so much fun, being able to pick which way it goes, and you can switch back and forth even. It just literally sees everything. So now that we're getting the hang of this camera, it's time to go get some action shots. We took the Huskies mushing, and this is something I always struggle to film. I only have one hand to operate the camera, and I'm constantly moving the camera and switching hands between leash and camera. Without image stabilization, this can be so hard to watch. But the OneX2 records perfectly smooth footage. You even have the choice to lock the horizon in the editor or track and follow objects in the frame. Motion tracking and stabilizing footage requires a lot of processing power, and your footage just has to be right for it to work. But this camera and editor makes it a breeze. Although I didn't buy the Insta360's invisible tripod, you can still see how it works with standard selfie sticks. Again, it's a bit jittery, but the shot's so cool. I love that you could zoom out and it makes what looks like almost a drone shot. Since it records everything, it's impossible to miss the shot. While I was longboarding, I hit a rock and I about crashed. Any other camera, I would have missed the shot. But if you look at this clip, you can see just how much the selfie stick bounces, but the image remains stable and you can tell what's going on. That's just incredible. Last time I crashed, I didn't have this camera, and this was the footage I got. So next time I crash, I hope I'm lucky enough to have this camera. I've been using this camera every time I want to see the world through a different lens, or just want to enjoy the moment and not focus on camera work. It's so nice to know that your camera just has your back and it's getting the shot no matter what. Then later in the editor, you can choose whatever angle you want. You can even edit the same clip multiple different ways, showing different angles. I want to try and film a music video in one take with this camera, then edit the exact same clip several different ways, and then cut it together. I think you would have enough angles and options to make something pretty cool. For instance, you could set it to Little Planet mode and it looks like you're walking your own little world. I don't know why I like this, but I do. It's just fun. Whenever I'm in a new area, I have to see how it looks. So the OneX2's tagline is the Pocket Camera Crew, and I can see why. It gives so many options for shots and it's so easy to use. You don't have to worry about where it's aiming at all. In fact, in most cases, the less you do, the better the shot you'll get. But again, even if you're shaking the camera, you're going to get the shot. As you can see here, I got the tripod stuck on a branch and had to pull it through. The camera spun and shook, but in the editor, I locked the direction and you could hardly tell. Like, I'm truly amazed. So in conclusion, this camera is fantastic. The editor is easy to use and it gives you tons of options to get creative and unique shots. The stabilization is insane. Even without their name brand shock mounts and selfie sticks, it's still super smooth. It's waterproof and it does a pretty good job in low light too. My only complaint is the price point. I bought it just after the Insta360 OneRS 360 edition was released. I didn't want to drop the extra $500, so I went with this camera. But then the OneX2 released and it's only $20 more. If I would have known, I probably would have waited. Don't get me wrong, the OneX2 is a great camera. I was 100% happy with it until I saw the new model for basically the same price. Once this camera drops to about $350, I think you can't go wrong. So comparing the OneX2 to the OneX3, the OneX3 has a much bigger screen. And I like that you can lock it to one lens, making it both a vlogging camera and a 360 camera. I think that's something that I'd actually use and I wouldn't need to carry around two cameras. But for now, I have the OneX2 and I love it. It's so good at what it does that you'll never really have to look at the screen other than initial setup. Even then, I find it easier to use the app on your phone. So although the OneX3 is an upgrade, it's not a huge upgrade. I'm still really happy with the OneX2, and if the price drops a bit, I think it'd be the perfect entry-level 360 camera. If you'd like to get one for yourself, please use our affiliate link in the description below. It helps support the channel and it doesn't cost you any extra. Till next time, I'm gonna go film some more Little Planet footage. See ya!